All Progressive Congress coalition backs tenure elongation for party executives. Senate condemns EFCC over attempt to arrest former heads of security agencies. Group commends Nigerian army over fight against crime. And in sports, ahead of Russia 2018, former Nigerian international drums up support for Super Eagles. Details of this and other stories in a moment. I am Cynthia Agbo. A coalition of All Progressive Congress support groups have expressed support for the elongation of the tenure of the National Working Committee of the party. In a position paper in Abuja, the group says that they had watched the sudden change of stance by President Muhammadu Buhari at the 5th National Executive Committee meeting of the APC. The paper criticized the president's directive to reverse the tenure elongation move by the national and state leadership of the ruling party. The Senate has indicted the acting executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, and the commission of failing to obtain authorization from the Office of the National Security Advisor and the presidency before attempting to arrest some former heads of security agencies. The Senate accused the anti-graft agency of abusing its mandate by attempting to arrest the former Director General of the State Security Service, Ita Ekpeyong, and his counterpart from the National Intelligence Agency, Ayo Oke. According to the upper legislative chamber, the EFCC ought to have sought the approval of the Office of the National Security Advisor and the Office of the President before taking the move. It insists that the Commission must conduct its search and arrest operations in a discreet manner. After the break, group commends Nigerian army over fight against crimes. Thanks for staying tuned. The Nigerian army has been commended for its success in fighting crime and insurgency in the country. This was the thrust of a press conference in Abuja where a group, Northern Interfaith and Religious Organization for Peace, enjoined the army to do more in protecting the country's integrity. TVN correspondent Austin Peacemaker Inaide reports.
Following the successes trailing SSS Aya Patoma by the Nigerian Army, a group, Northern Interfaith and Religious Organization for Peace, says the Army has been able to curtail elders-farmers clash in some states. In a press conference on the state of the nation in Abuja, the group led by its national coordinator, Bishop Prince Gabriel Ububa, hailed the efforts of the Army.
Interfaith Religious Organization for Peace salute the President Buhari-led administration on its effort on security, without which the peddlers of discord would have succeeded in their bid to destabilize our dear nation. We hail the effort of the Nigerian Army, in particular, for the protecting the life of all citizens without consideration for ethnic or religious affiliation. It is the Nigerian Army that has stood against wanton destruction of lives and properties.
The group, while calling on well-meaning members of the public to pray against the activities of disgruntled elements in the society, also charged Nigerians to embrace love irrespective of religious differences.
We call on Nigerians of all faiths to frequently pray against the evil men in our midst. They should plead God to frustrate the attempts to flood and taint the land with blood as a gimmick ahead of the 2019 general election.
It will be recalled that SSS Aya Patoma was launched by the Nigerian Army in February 2018. The exercise, which has so far been described as successful, was recently extended for 2 months in Taraba State. The Northern Interfaith and Religious Organization for Peace ended its peace message with a call to Nigerians to stand up defeat evils in the country. Austin Peacemaker Inaide, TVN News.
The federal government is to initiate an awareness campaign to sensitize Nigerians on the dangers of consuming imported rice. At a briefing in Lagos, the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, said 6 million more Nigerians had embraced rice farming since 2015. The minister listed government successes in the sector to include job creation, increase in the country's rice production capacity, and growth in investment in the sector. Lai Mohammed accused neighboring Benin Republic and Cameroon of making policies to undermine Nigeria's rice revolution. And in entertainment, Arnold Schwarzenegger is thankful to have woken up after undergoing emergency open-heart surgery last week. The 70-year-old actor was admitted to hospital last week to have a catheter valve replaced. Doctors, however, performed emergency procedure on the star actor after complications followed the earlier surgery. The former governor of California took to Twitter to reveal that he was awake and well following the ordeal and thanked medical staff for their life-saving work. And in sports, ahead of the 2018 World Cup, former Super Eagles goalkeeper Joseph Dosu has appealed to Nigerians to stop attacking the country's short stoppers, saying such harsh criticism could dampen the morale of the stars even before the Mundial proper. Following Super Eagles' recent friendly matches, especially the 0-2 loss to Serbia last week, many football followers have been clamoring for the return of former captain Vincent Inyama to save the country from embarrassment at the World Cup. Speaking at the inaugural edition of the Leg Challenge Cup soccer tournament at the main bowl of the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Surulere, Dosu called on Nigerians to help the coaches in building the confidence of the 3 goalkeepers in camp, while maintaining that they are the best materials available to the country. The former Nigerian international goal stopper insists that condemning them would only put them through undue pressure. And on the foreign scene, wave of strike against President Emmanuel Macron's labor reforms continues, with France's rail network severely disrupted. The strike started on what has been dubbed Black Tuesday, but the action will spread over 3 months, affecting Tuesdays in every 5. Staffs at State Railway SNCF are leading the strike, but the energy and waste collection sectors are also affected. The 4 main rail unions observing the strike services have been severely curtailed. Some 77% of train drivers were believed to be on strike, with 1 in 8 high-speed scheduled. The situation presents Macron's biggest challenge since his election last May. South Africa has fixed the official funeral for Winnie Madikizela Mandela for 14th of April. President Cyril Ramaphosa made the announcement outside Winnie's home in Soweto. According to Ramaphosa, Winnie Mandela will have a national official funeral, which will be on 14th April, and an official memorial service on the 11th of April 2018. The South African president, however, said that there will be other memorial functions across the country in nearly every province of the country. In the meantime, the African National Congress Secretary General Ace Magashule says the party has lost a loyal and trusted member. Madikizela Mandela died at age 81 at the Mill Park Hospital in Johannesburg. To end the news, a recap of the major stories. All Progressive Congress coalition backs TENURE elongation for party executives. Senate condemns EFCC over attempt to arrest former heads of security agencies. Group commends Nigerian Army over fight against crimes. And in sports, ahead of Russia 2018, former Nigerian international drums up support for Super Eagles. That is the news and the hour on television Nigerian. Remember, if you don't like something, change it. If you can change it, change your attitude towards it. I am Cynthia Agua. Thanks for watching and do have yourself a wonderful night.